Hare Krishna. Do let me know if you can see, you can hear my voice clearly.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Wish you all once again happy Kartik month. In this month, we are blessed. Why? Because the Lord is helping us, giving the opportunity that we can engage ourselves very intensely and in serving Him with various ways, and the results of what we do is uh, reciprocated by the Lord with His causeless mercy many folds. I'm very happy yesterday, Omkareshwar Prabhu's place, there was a nice home program, which means whoever would have attended it, whoever would have done services, the Lord would definitely reciprocate in many, many ways. And similarly, as from Prahlad Maharaj, we are inspired through this process of devotional service. What is it? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So these three things we can do when we are in a Shravanam, when we are in a mm, pravachan, a session where we are discussing the dealings of the Lord, because these are not ordinary. These are not ordinary. It will go through few mm, uh, verses of Srimad Bhagavatam and can profoundly confirm this. That is the sayings of all previous acharyas. That's why Krishna is wonderful and his deeds are wonderful. He himself is wonderful, Krishna. Mm. So, can someone give a quick recap what we discussed yesterday, so that whoever has joined today, they are already on it. We can start from there. Mm. Yeah, for that we don't need to be a full class, full time speaker. Even I'm able to do. I'm sure all of you can do. It's only a starting.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, at a very high level, more like a summary, Prabhuji, we're discussing about Govardhan Lila and how Nanda Maharaj and everybody were preparing for offering to Lord Indra, and then Krishna kind of says, we should kind of give offering to Govardhan hill, because he is providing us with all the aspects. And I think they were also offering all prasadams to Govardhan Hill, and Govardhan Hill started accepting them. Uh, and Indra, as always, became envious, I believe, and uh, I think that's where we stopped. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you for a very quick recap. Yeah, that gives us the context of what Leela we are discussing, which is very, very important, which is very, very intimate. And if we are devotees, by going through this Leela every time, we get to know how the Lord deals with his devotees so nicely, and how the Lord takes care of his devotees nicely, sometimes very sweetly, sometimes very harshly or hardly. And this is what is where we see here. It is not that Krishna is partial for his devotees, and that too there are some devotees who are he's more partial, and there are some devotees he's not so partial. Uh, Here we see that Lord, out of his causeless mercy, he wants to teach his devotee, who is he, Indra, a lesson. And as part of that uh, idea, yesterday we were discussing how he has created a stage for for doing this. And as Satish Prabhu you have nicely said, yeah. So Krishna approached his father very humbly, and he asked, "What is this all about?" And he asked, Uh, you're a very, very saintly person. I'm having a lot of faith, and you are my like my friend, and I have strong desire to know what is this all going on, and please tell me. And then Nanda Maharaj told, this is all preparations to please Lord Indra, because Lord Indra is the king and of heavens, and not only that, he is the king of rains in the form of clouds are his representatives. By pleasing Indra, then everything is maintained. The cows are maintained, the fields are maintained, the forests are maintained, we are maintained, and everyone is maintained. As a matter of gratitude, we wanted to do this. So, Lord, who himself is powerful time. Sukadeva Goswami is actually mentioning this. Um, Please bear with me if yeah, my system is actually doing some update, and due to which there could be some um, yeah, delay or a lag or an ag. So, Lord Krishna, he desired to destroy the false pride. That is the main thing that we can take. If you see from Govardhan Leela, there are so many things, wonderful lessons, wonderful uh, aspects of devotional service. Yeah, one is definitely mainly to curb the false pride. When Nanda and other senior men of Vrindavan heard Sri Krishna's statement, they accepted his words as proper. Mm. So this is the Krishna is so sweet. Uh, Krishna is so sweet, and not only that, he with his sweet, loving voice, loving, yeah, uh, face, features, he has convinced the Vrajavasis that what Krishna is speaking is proper, and due to which everything is done as per what he said. The preparations are made, offering Govardhan should be done. Vrajavasis followed everything that Lord said. Hmm. What did he say? He said, arrange Brahmanas who can recite Vedic mantras. Uh, in one way, here we can already see that what uh, Krishna is saying is is indeed Vedic. Hmm. I would say this way, that it's not like, okay, Krishna has created something which is not mentioned in Vedas. In the Vedas, what is mentioned, everything is to be offered to whom? Uh, 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 to the Lord, to Lord Vishnu. And here, so Krishna said, all Brajavasis, arrange Brahmanas, Brajavasis are Vaishya communities, and he said, arrange Brahmanas, and whatever the paraphernalia, everything that is brought to worship Indra, that should be used to worship Govardhan hill. And you do what? Keep cows, bulls, and calves in front of them and in front of you, and do pradakshina, circumambulate around them. And Vraja gopis, they were singing glories of Krishna. And mm, uh, when they were singing the glorification of Krishna, and at the same time, there is this mantras, Vedic mantras that the Brahmanas are reciting. They both were kind of mingling together and created very nice effect. And Krishna assumed, I think yesterday we were also saying this. Sorry, Satish Prabhu, you already gave a recap, but I am again bringing again tuning towards the next important event. So Krishna assumed a huge form. He assumed a huge form, this Govardhan hill, uh, then became a personified form which came, and then um, who is that? None other than Krishna. Krishna is arranging such a way that, after all, the cowherd, they have sincerely accepted whatever Krishna has said, but to instill faith in cowherd men, what he did, he came in this huge form and he said, I am Govardhan mountain. And then after saying this, he ate all the preparations that are made. Mm. And in the chapter 24, verse number 35, in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning, I think this also recently Madhavananda Prabhu, Madhavananda Prabhu, Madhavananda Prabhu has released um, a bi-weekly editorial release, right? So on which he was mentioning about Govardhan. Oh, I don't know where did I come. Maybe I came across on Facebook. Anyway, the point here is that sometimes there is a long earning, right? that, oh, when Govardhan is known different from Krishna, why don't we worship Govardhan? So how can we worship Govardhan? By taking from Govardhan. And in fact, in the 35th verse of this chapter 24, Krishna, I mean, Prabhupada wrote this Krishna book, right? In that he wrote that um, uh, Krishna assumed a transcendental form and declared to that Govardhan hill and Krishna himself are identical. So Govardhan and Krishna are identical. This is a clear statement. And then Krishna began to eat all the food offered there. The identity of Krishna and Govardhan hill is still honored. And great devotees, what they do? They take rocks from Govardhan hill and worship them exactly as they worship the deity of Krishna in the temples. The followers of the Krishna consciousness movement may therefore collect small rocks or pebbles from Govardhan Hill and worship them at home because this worship is as good as deity worship. This is what Prabhupada himself he said, and it is put in actually quotes. And then, um, but then, how do we understand this? Does it mean that we can do this? When we see where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not even allowed to uh, to climb the Govardhan hill. Mm. Govardhan hill is not different from Krishna. Who wants, who can, who will climb on the Lord? No. Yeah, maybe some other sampradayas, maybe other paths are there, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yeah, has strictly, he didn't do it, and we are the followers of him, so we will not do that. Now coming to taking, can we take the Govardhan Shila? There are so many small forms of the Lord which are on the base of this Govardhan hill. Maybe I don't climb on this Govardhan hill to collect, but whichever is on the floor, can I take them and worship? It is very, very important. And there is also a lila that someone took away and Lord didn't like it, and then he brought, and then everything became normal. This is one case. The Lord Himself will show, but we don't have to take such a risk. Why do we want to get into trouble? We can just follow what acharyas say. And now when Prabhupada is saying, okay, people can take small pebbles, can we take it? And if we carefully read the lines above it, it is mentioned about great devotees. Huh? The identity of Krishna and Govardhan are still honored, and great devotees take rocks from Govardhan Hill. And followers of Krishna consciousness movement. And now we ourselves have to check how adherent followers are we of Krishna consciousness movement. And then who will decide this? Who will say that, oh, you are great devotee? It is your guru who will tell. If your guru can, if your guru will, if your guru allows you, gives permission to worship Shilas, then uh, one can do. And Guru very well can give blessings. Guru will give the guidelines. Guru will tell what are the care and what we need to do. Only if we think that we can really do it, uh, then we should. Yeah, this point is something came. I thought, okay, it's also nice for all of us to take this input and understand. Okay, because Prabhupada has given at some places, yeah, worship. Yeah, you take Govardhan Shila worship. At some places, he said, immediately bring it back. Hmm? I will find and share it. I don't know if someone has already read that article, which came recently. They can read. But let's not decide on our own. We should approach our guru. We should approach our spiritual guide who has been seeing us regularly, who has seen our sadhana, hmm, who understands us, who understands our situation, who understands our interest, who understands our circumstances, uh, and then accordingly bless us to worship. So there is no harm to worship Govardhan Shila. And indeed, Krishna and Govardhan Hill are same. One can worship. The easiest way is, yeah, why to separate? Just go there as often as possible, worship the Govardhan Hill there, and then come back. And this is what usually, I think recently when Indrandra Maharaj was doing parikram, I think 2 days back, Rupa, if you have seen this, they arranged very nicely. Um very nice. Yeah, the Shila is very big. in Govardhan Hill, decorated them, and everyone were offering wonderful Govardhan Annakut festival. I don't know if someone has seen this. So that is safe. And when we have a lot of attachment, when we really have are in a position to prioritize our life uh, for worshipping the Govardhan, because in one way worshipping the deity and worshipping the Shila are identical, but the standard of worshipping Shila is high because yeah, as Krishna himself, he expanded in huge form and he declared, what did he say? He said, I am Govardhan mountain. So Krishna is the Govardhan mountain, and then uh, um, what is that one can offer? One is offering lot of food to please the Lord, and this is what is the Annakut festival. Anyway, so saying Krishna assumed a huge form to install faith in the Godhead men, and he declared, "I am Govardhan mountain," and um, the child uh, the child form of Krishna, yeah, who was one among the cowherd men, what did he do? He had paid obeisances to the Govardhan hill, the form, the gigantic form, uh, and seeing him, all the Brajavasis also offered, in effect, offering obeisances to him. The Lord was offering obeisances to himself. There is in Ramayana, we come across the similar situation in Krishna. Lila also we come across this situation where the Lord are meditating upon themselves. The Lord is paying obeisances to Himself. So to show us that yes, not that we pay obeisances to ourselves, but we pay obeisances to the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So and told, see how this hill appeared in person and bestowed mercy upon us. And saying so. hmm, Uh, Krishna, it is clear from this verse that Lord has expanded himself. Mm. And not only that, why did he do this? Mm. Uh, Govardhan Hill can take any form. This is what Krishna is saying. Uh, Govardhan Hill can take any form, Kama Rupi. We may see that, okay, this hill, we know that any mountain. I think Adirasa Prabhu, was it you who asked last time why only Govardhan Hill or is it any hill? I don't know. Last time when we were discussing. Huh? So Krishna is saying Govardhan Hill can take any form, Kama Rupi, and will kill any resident if they do not. Uh, will kill any resident in the forest who neglects to worship Govardhan. Therefore, pay obeisances to him for safety of ourselves and cows. Huh? So this is what Krishna says, and then this Govardhan Hill, assuming any form he wishes, will kill any residents of forest who neglect him. Therefore, let us pray. Let us pay our obeisances to him for safety of ourselves and cows. In the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning Kamarupi indicates that the form of Govardhan can manifest as poisonous snakes, wild animals, falling rocks, and so on. All of them are competent to kill a human being. So, what is this Kama Rupi? In which forms the Govardhan can take? In the form of poisonous snakes, wild animals, falling rocks, and can kill if uh, all of which are competent to kill a human being. So, in essence, Sridhar Swami is concluding this part until this part of the chapter. He says that, you know, the Lord presented six theoretical points in this chapter. What, if you remember, one is that he said karma is everything, right? Karma alone is sufficient to determine one's destination. It is not that someone else is doing something to reward it. That one's conditioned nature is supreme controller. If one is conditioned nature, that conditioned nature is what? It conditioning. What is that? Controlling. What is controlling? Ishvara, supreme controller. The third point, that the modes of nature are the supreme controller. The nature, it is not that the soul is independent and no, it is once he comes in contact with the material nature, that material nature is controlling him. That the fourth point is that the supreme Lord is simply a dependent aspect of karma. Hmm. Fifth, that he is under the control of karma, and that one's occupation is actual worshipable deity. Uh, so Lord presented these arguments not because he believed them, but rather he wanted to show stop this impeding sacrifice, because Govardhan sacrifice has been going on and going on and going on. Just imagine that someone is giving you honor, honor, honor all the time. When you are giving honor, then your pride is becoming bigger, bigger, and bigger. Amanina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadahari. When this pride is going high, what is the chance of that we can glorify the Lord? We can sing the glories of the Lord when we can do Krishna Katha. No. Then we will do what Katha? We'll do Prajalpa. We'll just glorify ourselves. Hey, you know what? I, oh, come on. I am 25 years in ISKCON. I am doing that. I was president. I was that. Uh, I did so many programs and I have made so many devotees. I made that, I made this, and all these things. When these things are already there on our head, and if someone is coming and Adirasa Prabhu is coming and telling, "Wow, Prabhu, you are so great. Oh, Mataji, you are doing amazing thing." Already our head is filled. Then this is giving a push, uh, and then we are simply knocked out in our orbit. Hmm? You know this, right? I don't know what is. Anyway, it's not so important. Uh, there is a orbit. What is it called? Zero orbit, I think. When a space shuttle reaches into that, then it doesn't need any fuel. It flies uh, without any external propeller. Uh, so if someone is pushing us into that zone, and then we are ourselves floating in that our own dream world, thinking I am great, I am great, I am great, I am great, and then when that is happening, how can we think that the Lord is great? No, because we are not seeing the Lord in the equation at all. It is my effort, it is your glorification, uh, it is your satisfaction, all these things. Where is the Lord? We keep him out of the equation. In this way, the Lord desired to agitate that falsely proud demigod. When these things happen, how can things be corrected? By creating a situation, in that situation where we have to prove ourselves. If we prove ourselves that we are really great, that is okay. Huh? And Krishna is creating such a situation for Indra. Can he really, whatever he's thinking great about himself, no. If he cannot, then he will realize his mistake. So the Lord is arranging all that. And then, anyway, after very, very happy, satisfying, wonderful Govardhan Puja, uh, all the cowhead boys, the members of the cowherd community, having thus being inspired by Lord Vasudeva to properly execute the sacrifices to Govardhan Hill, uh, the cows, the Brahmanas, returned with Lord Krishna to their village, Vraj. Although Govardhan Puja was performed in a blissful and successful way, the matter was hardly finished. That's where we stopped yesterday. The matter didn't finish, yeah. After all, was only setting the scene. The setting of the scene is perfect, right? Because um, the the balloon which is lifting Indra to heights. Uh, it is that some gas, right? So it's not reality. When there is some what is it, hydrogen gas, right? The balloon is flying. Huh? Can hydrogen gas itself do anything? It can only lift the balloon. As soon as the balloon has a smallest hole, then everything goes out, and then everyone, whoever is holding to this big balloon, right? I don't know, where was it? Turkey or Greece? What happened? Hmm? There was the big explosion, and everyone fell down, and so many died, right? So this um, external factors or internal factors which are disturbing, which are thinking us that we are great, 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 uh, is the time comes when it will be blasted. That is where Krishna is now going to show. Why? Because when everyone is happy, who was disturbed? It was Indra. Indra was disturbed. Why was he disturbed? Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Indras tadatmana pujam. Vijnana vihatam nripa. Gopebhya Krishnanatebhyo Nandabhibhyas Chokapa, sorry, Chukopaha. He became very angry. Why? Because Indra, he was expecting something and that was not happening. Parikshit Maharaj, uh, when Indra understood that his sacrifice has been put aside, he became furious with Nanda Maharaj. He became so angry that uh, he became angry with Nanda Maharaj and other cowherd men who were accepting why Krishna is the Lord. The problem with pride is we cannot see others being glorified. That is the problem of this world. The more and more we are talking about competitive spirit, the competitive spirit, what is happening? Only the ranker, top ranker, the first ranker is glorified, and remaining everyone is considered a cheap, less. Uh, but Krishna, why will he create everyone so useless? Hmm? Everyone is unique, everyone is capable of doing something extraordinary. In that way, everyone is number one. But what happens that when we see other person is uh, performing well, when other person is getting glorified more, then when we are not able to tolerate that, when we are not able to accept it, when we are not able to uh, see the greatness in other person, what will happen? We become disturbed. Here, Indra became totally disturbed. He became totally disturbed, even not only on cowhead boys, he became disturbed on that Krishna. And when he was carried away with that, Ishamani, here is very significant. Indra arrogantly, Indra arrogantly considered himself to be the Lord. And in that great anger, know what Indra said? Go, Samvartak, go down. He called his the most dangerous cloud. Who is that? Samvartak. And this cloud is usually sent when the world needs to be destroyed at the end of the day of a at the end of a day of Brahma. When everything needs to be kind of inundated, this cloud is sent, which will pour the rain like torrents of massive columns. uh, that everything gets inundated. So he told to him like this. What did he say? The and in the purport, Isha Mani here is very significant. Indra arrogantly. Isha, he thought, Abhiman. Man means oneself. Abhiman. And that Isha Man means thinking himself the supreme controller. What happens is when we are little controlling things, we think that we are the supreme controller. And here Indra, and thus he exhibited the typical attitude of a conditioned soul. So, yeah, yesterday we were discussing, na, Satish Babu, why Indra does all this. He's representing whom? He's representing me, he's representing you, he's representing everyone, because we are conditioned souls where we are thinking ourselves to be great, our pride. Many thinkers in 20th century have noted the exaggerated sense of individual prestige characteristics of our culture. Indeed, writers have even coined the phrase the me generation. They call that I am, it's me, it's me. Everyone in this world is more or less guilty of syndrome called Isha Mana, or proudly considering oneself the Lord. Isn't it? Huh? And then Indra is going even further. Aho Sri Mada Mahatmyam. And he is saying that, uh, what is this? Aho Sri Mada Mahatmyam Gopanam Kanak Nau Kasham. As I said, my system is slow. Krishna, and very, very, what happened? Now he's saying that word. Krishna Martyam Upashritya. Who is Krishna? After all, Krishna is a human being, Martyam. He is prone to die, right? He is just a mortal, and they are following him. When we think ourselves great, that how can we achieve that? By making others less. So sometimes we may not see the greatness of others, and even if they do some great deeds, we may think it's fantasy, or we may not think it's a mystic power. Mm. So, Aho Srimada Mahatmyam Gopanam Kananau Kasam, Krishnam Martyam Upashritya. Uh, what a system today. Huh. Ye Chakshur Deva Helanam. It's an offense, isn't not? It's an offense onto Devatas. Huh? They are following a boy who is a mere mortal. Just see how these cowherd men living in the forest have the thought like that. And then he says further that they taking shelter of Krishna is, like what? Like the foolish attempt of men who abandon transcendental knowledge of the self and instead try to cross over the great ocean in the false boats of fruitive ritual sacrifices. So, what does this mean? He's saying, I am the one who is the savior, I am the one who is really true, absolute, and Krishna is not, how can he protect? He's just a common man. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Let me know.
Prabhuji.
So they taking shelter of Krishna is just like the foolish man attempting to give up all this transcendental knowledge. We know that Veda, Jnana Yoga is the marga, right? With Jnana Yoga, one can attain their understanding of God. Jnanam Vijnanam. If one don't take that, rather than that, they sit into a boat of what just fruitive activities, rituals, and all these things. Whatever that Krishna said, if they just do it, are they going to be saved? Who is the savior? I will save them, not Krishna. So this is, uh, and then here, very important. Then in that great anger, what Indra is also going a step forward is saying is that uh, these cowherd men have accepted inimically toward me, have have acted inimical toward me by taking shelter of this ordinary human being, Krishna. And now you know what are the adjectives he uses. Uh, I'll read the shlok. It's nice. Okay. Actually, as I said, no, there is some upgrade that's going on in the background. I couldn't stop it, and it's making my screen moving slow. Vachalam. So Vachalam, Balisam, Stabdam, Agnam Pandita, Maninam, Krishnam, Martyam, Upashritya, Gopa, Me, Shakur, Apriyam. What did he said is this Krishna is simply a foolish, arrogant, over talkative child. Huh? Is it not the feelings of a proud person? Huh? So Indra is exhibiting these, but of course, in the purport, I think last time also we were referring that I will leave this purport for you guys to read through to understand what happens when someone want to blaspheme the Lord like this. But still, uh, the insults of Indra, through the insults of Indra, what happened is Goddess Saraswati is actually praising Krishna. Whatever this comes, it's the wisdom of Saraswati. Saraswati, it's glorifying the Lord. Vachalam means one who can speak according to Vedic authority. Balisam means free from pretension. Sabdam means that he bows down to no one because there is no one for him to offer obeisances or homage. Agnyam means that there is nothing more for him to know because he is omniscient. Pandita Maninam means that he is highly honored. Uh, so whatever he tried to use, if you go one word to word translation and the purport in that Sridhar Swami, you can see how nicely the same word can be used to blaspheme. This is what Indra tried, but uh, these words, if you talk about um, Shabda Ghosh, right? These are the words of whose goddess Saraswati are actually glorifying him. So anyway, so Indra became very angry. Then he sent all this Samvartaka. He considered, and then very important in this lesson is so important for us. Where it starts becoming more dangerous is miscalculation. Because Indra has miscalculated the greatness of Krishna, because we tend to not able to estimate the glories of other person, and because of that what we do is we miscalculate, and with that mistake we are going to dig our own grave. This is what we are seeing in the case of Indra. He was thinking Krishna is just a human. Krishna is not only human. Come on, he's just talkative. He's just foolish. He's just silly. He doesn't know anything, but he's showing off. Yeah, all these things. Hmm, this is what the miscalculation that he did. And what is the cause of this miscalculation? Because of ahamkar, because of pride. When we are covered with this pride, what is happening then? Huh? What will come? Arrogance. Arrogance will lead us to downfall. Uh, so miscalculation made. Now what he said, cowherd took shelter of ordinary human being, acted inimically towards me. Hmm? So uh, he- when Indra became um, um, arrogant because of his pride, then he is thinking Krishna is arrogant. Huh? And he is also thinking that now you know what, these Brajvasis, uh, they have become very rich now. Of course, Vaishyas are mercantile community, but they are very prosperous. They, yeah, they are the people who do us business, right? So prosperity made them mad with pride. Who has pride? Indra has pride. And who is saying that Gowhead boys have pride? It is Indra. Hmm. Arrogance is backed up by Krishna. This is what he's saying. These people are already arrogant, and this is backed up by Krishna. Huh? How can I allow it to happen? Hmm? In the purport, anyway, in the purport, Krishna is, Prabhupada is saying that simply by a Vedic dairy enterprise, the residents of Vrindavan were wealthy, healthy, and happy, even in the material sense. And most of all, they were eternal associates of the Supreme Lord. Hmm? So, in that way, Vaishya community is wealthy, healthy, and happy. And then, um, then when this was happening, Indra sent his Samvartaka. He's saying, "You go, hey Samvartak cloud, you go. I'm going to come behind you. I'm following. I'm riding on my elephant Airavat and taking with me the swift and powerful wind gods to decimate the cowherd village of Nanda Maharaj." Huh? So Samvartak clouds were frightened by Indra's powerful mood and they carried out his order and described in this verse. And Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Itham, um, um, in this manner, when Indra is saying, Samvartak clouds cover the entire earth with one single cloud, like an ocean, with great strength, and these clouds began flooding the simple land of Vraj. And then propelled by fearful wind god, the clouds blazed with lightning bolts and roared with thunder as they hurled down hailstones. Uh, and then, as the clouds released torrents of rain as thick as massive columns, the earth was submerged in the flood, and high ground could no longer be distinguished from low. Means everything looked as if like there is nothing like a Deccan. Everything there was nothing like a plateau. Everything looks like a plain. Hmm? And then the cowherd, the cows, the animals shivering from excessive rain and wind, and the cowherd men and ladies pained by cold, all approached Lord Govinda for shelter. Hmm. Now, why did they approach? Is it because Krishna said, and because of Krishna saying that's why they have come here to take shelter? Huh? It, trembling from distress, brought about the severe rainfall and trying to cover their heads and calves with their own bodies, the cows approached the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Hmm? And then Krishna, Krishna. I think this is one prayer we should try to by heart. Huh? What did all of them do? All these cows and cowherd boys came. They said, Krishna, Krishna Mahabhaga, Tvannatham Gokulam Prabho, Tratum Arhasi Devan Kapitad. Sorry, Kupitad Bhakta Vatsala. Kupitar means who is angry on Indra. So, who is angry on this Deva. So that the cowherd boys address Krishna, Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees, please save us all. So, this is what the prayers. And why did they go to Krishna? Why? Because mm, in the eighth chapter, when Gargamuni comes, when Gargamuni comes and he was reading the um, uh, what do you call this? Janma Kundali, right? Or the four, forecast, not forecast. Hmm. I don't know they read out who is who, what is he going to become? Yeah,
Astrology.
fortune telling, huh? What is that?
Astrologer.
What does he tell? Astrologer.
Astronomy.
Yeah, astronomy. Yeah, so he when he was telling about how, Krishna and his greatness, who is he? At the time of Lord Krishna's birth, Gargamuni predicted, "Anena sarva durgani, uh, yuyam agnes uh, uh, tarisyata." This is saying that by his grace you will easily cross beyond all difficulties, and that's why all the residents have strong faith that Krishna is there, then everything is safe. He will save. The residents of Vrindavan were confident that in such a great emergency, Lord Narayan would empower Krishna to protect them. They accepted Krishna as everything, and Krishna reciprocated their love. Hmm. So, if you want to know what is this verse, maybe our Ratikeli Mataji can also prepare a what is it? A a poster. Yeah, she can take this 13th verse from 25th chapter, 10th canto. Hmm. Seeing the inhabitants of Gokul rendered practically unconscious by the onslaught of hails and blasting wind, the Supreme Lord Hari understood that this was the work of angry Indra. Huh? Kupitendra Kritam Hari. Uh, Lord Hari understood this is what because of Indra. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the purport, Prabhupada is referring that the severe distress Indra apparently inflicted upon the residents of Vrindavan was an arrangement made by Sri Krishna's pastime potency to enhance the loving dealings between the residents and the Lord. Yesterday, Satish Prabhu, you were asking why Indra is behaving like that.
Yes, Ruji. Yeah.
So if I tell you, you may not accept, but at least here we have Prabhupada's reference. He's bringing Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur hmm, reference, which says the severe distress Indra apparently inflicted is for what? Uh, to enhance the loving dealings. Yeah, just like if you are in trouble, if I save you, then you feel so much indebted, so much grateful, so much thankful, uh, and loving dealings between the residents and the Lord. The Acharyas give the analogy that for a hungry person, the pain of hunger increases the happiness he feels when he finally eats excellent food. And thus, hunger can be said to enhance the pleasure of eating, isn't it? Similarly, the residents of Vrindavan, although not experiencing ordinary material anxiety, felt a type of distress at the activities of Indra and thus intensified their meditation on Krishna. Hmm? That's why Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga. That's why the prayers came. Huh? Yeah, hope that answers your question. Because we have stopped his sacrifice, Indra has caused this unusually fierce, seasonable rain together with terrible wind and hail. Hmm. And Krishna said, "My Krishna, with his mystic power, I will completely counterattack this disturbance caused by Indra." He is assuring his residents. Demigods like Indra are proud of their opulence, and out of foolishness, they falsely consider themselves the Lord of the universe. I will destroy such ignorance. Huh? What did he say? Huh? We when we are sound, when we are more comfortable, when we become aristocratic, when we are have a community, reputation, society, values, and all these things, what may happen? All these opulences can become disturbance because this creates proudness in oneself, and it can lead to foolishness, and they consider themselves as the Lord, isn't it? Then you start thinking, hey, I can do anything because I have power. Mm. नहि सद्भाव युक्तानाम सुराणाम ईश विस्मया मत्तो सताम मान भंगा प्रसमायोपकल्पते. So here is saying, since the demigods are endowed with mode of goodness, the false pride of considering oneself Lord should certainly not affect them. When I break the false prestige of those bereft of goodness, my purpose is to bring them relief. Huh? And the purport Prabhupada is giving Sadbhava Yukta. What does that mean? That Indra is the head or the king of Devatas, right? What is his duty is to actually use all whatever power facilities he has in the service of the Lord. And that is what is actually we also say about Yukta Vairagyam. Yukta Vairagyam means what? Utilizing the opulence of this world to execute Lord's mission. Obviously, the things of this world can be used wonderfully to spread the glories of God and to create a godly society. And a more advanced devotee will not be seduced by material paraphernalia, but will dutifully and honestly engage it solely for the pleasure of the Lord. In this particular case, Lord Indra forgot that he was a humble servant of God, and Lord Krishna therefore arranged to bring this bewildered demigod to his senses. Yeah. See so many reasons. And he said, I must therefore protect the cowherd community by my transcendental potency. Huh? And what is it, the word used? Much charanam indicates that not only that Lord Krishna was sole shelter uh, for Vrajajana, the people of Vrindavan, but also that Lord Krishna had established his home among them. And Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur quotes from Anekartha Varga Dictionary, Sharanam Graha Rakshit Rakshitroha. The word Sharanam can represent either home or protector. And in this way, after all, I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. This is what Krishna is saying, right? So here, thus Sri Krishna lived among these fortunate people, moving in their houses and fields naturally. He would protect such intimate devotees from all types of danger. How does he do that? How does he do that? Having said that, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, picked up Govardhan with one hand and held it aloft, just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. Huh? How did he lift? He lifted with his left hand. In the here it is just very simply said. He just lifted. In Harivamsha, Sri Krishna, it's mentioned. Sri Krishna picked up Govardhan hill with his left hand. Sadrata Sangato Meghair Giri Savyena Panina. With his left hand, he picked up that mountain which was touching the clouds. So big mountain. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, when Lord Krishna was preparing to lift Govardhan hill, a partial expansion of Yoga Maya potency named, what is that? Uh, Samhariki, temporarily removed all the rains from the sky. Huh? Samvartaka was the cause of all inundation, whatever destruction was going. And then Krishna has his Yogamaya power. What is it? Samhariki, uh, feminine, Shakti. Samhariki, which can remove the rain from the sky so that as he ran very swiftly from the porch of his house to the mountain, neither his turban nor other garments became wet. It is even said not even a single hair of Krishna became wet when he was going from his home to the Govardhan hill. That is out of his Yogamaya. Athaha Bhagavan Gopan He Amba Tatha Vrajaukasha Yathopajosham Vishata Giri what is that? Gartam Sago Dana. The Lord then addressed, O mother, O father, O residents of Vraja, if you wish, uh, You may now come under this hill uh, with your cows. So the Lord has arranged shelter. When He wants to protect, no one can stop. No one can stop. The word, um, yeah, word present. Oh no, I think I moved on. So here we see that in that way, Lord is giving protection. If you wish to come, you may come under this hill. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur provides the following insight in this regard. Ordinarily, a large cowherd community, which included many thousands of cows, calves, bulls, and so on, could not fit under the base of a medium-sized hill like Govardhan. However, because the hill was in ecstasy, being touched by the hand of the Supreme Lord, it acquired inconceivable power and even felt the hundreds of deadly thousand thunderbolts thrown upon its back by angry Indra to be an offering of soft, fragrant flowers. Uh, at times, Sri Govardhan was not even aware that the thunderbolts were striking. From Harivamsha, the Acharya has also quoted Sri Krishna himself as saying, त्रैलोक्यम् अपि उत्साहते रक्षितुं किं पुनर्व्रजम्. Sri Govardhan can give shelter to all the three worlds. What to speak of the simple land of Vraja? When Indra's attack began and Krishna lifted the hill, the deer, the wild hogs, other animals, birds standing on the hill's flanks climbed up to its peak, and even they did not experience the slightest distress. Huh? So, in that way, Krishna is giving protection. You should not have fear that this mountain will fall from my hand, and don't be afraid of wind and rain, for your deliverance from these afflictions has already been arranged. Uh, so, in that way, Krishna is saying, come, come, everyone, come and take shelter. Mm. All the domestic animals of Vrindavan were brought beneath the Govardhan hill for shelter. I think it will come later. Um, yeah, Lord Krishna, forgetting hunger and thirst and putting aside all considerations of perpetual pleasure, stood there holding up the hill for 7 days as the people of Vraja gazed upon him. According to Vishnu Puran, Vrajaika Vasibhir Harsha Vishmikaksher Nirikshita Gopa Gopi Janer Hristai Preeti Visparite Kshanai. So, Krishna Sailam Adharayat. Lord Krishna held upon the mountain while his praises were chanted by the residents of Vraja, all of whom now had the opportunity to dwell together with him, and who glanced at him in joyful and amazed eyes. Thus, the cowherd men and women were all elated, and out of loving affection, they opened their eyes wide. In fact, what happened is, as I said, there are so many things that are happening parallelly, and if we can very carefully observe, though the deal is to curb the pride of Indra, but here what is happening? Just imagine who wants to stay with the Lord. All of us want to stay with the Lord, and who wants to always have the darshan of the Lord. Uh, and then the Vrajavasis are ever eager. But Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maharani, Krishna is always in at home. Sometimes only he is outside. But this is a unique opportunity for continuous 7 days, 7 nights. All the Vrajavasis had the opportunity to just drink the nectarian darshan of the Lord non-stop. By continuous drinking the nectar of the beauty and sweetness of Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan felt no hunger, thirst, or fatigue, and Krishna, by seeing their beautiful form, also forgot about eating, drinking, and sleeping. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that 7 days of continuous rain from Samvartaka clouds failed to flood the district of Mathura. And here, this is also another secret. When there is so much rain, after all, when the Govardhan is lifted, there is a small, what do you call, maybe a hole, right? And usually the water should go down, and then should fill that hole where actually Krishna and everyone is staying. uh, but Krishna, when he lifted mm, that 7 days, and the from he his potency, simply by his potency, immediately dried up the water as it fell to the ground. Thus, Krishna's lifting of Govardhan Hill is full of fascinating details and has for thousands of years remained one of his most famous pastimes. This is what is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. So Govardhan Leela every year, though we may know the same pastime, though we know that it is Indra problem, it is Krishna protection, everything, but this is famous, where we can see so many things, how intimately Lord deals with his devotees. When Indra observed this exhibition of Lord Krishna's mystic power, he became most astonished, pulled down from his platform of false pride and intention spotted, and he ordered his clouds to desist. And now he understood, oh, Krishna is not ordinary. His mystic power is so powerful. Come, he is saying the sky. Seeing that fierce wind and rain has now ceased, the sky had become clear of rain clouds, and the sun has risen. Lord Krishna, the lifter of Govardhan Hill, spoke to the cowhead community as follows. My dear cowherd men, please go out with your wives, children, and possessions. Give up your fear. The wind and rain have stopped, and the rivers' high waters have subsided. Uh, After collecting their respective cows and loading their paraphernalia into their wagons, and cowherd men went out. The women, children, and elderly persons gradually followed them. Bhagavan apitam. I think I missed that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, no. Where is that? Um, let's see if it is above. No. So after everything subsided, the winds and rains have stopped, and rivers have concluded. Okay, now I got it. Okay. Bhagavan apitam sailam sवस्थाने पूर्ववत् प्रभु Pashyatam sarva bhutanam stapayam asalilaya. So here after everyone left, then what happened? The Lord uh, has brought back um, uh, brought back this hill back to the same place just as it had stood before. Hmm. And then tam prema vegan nirbhrata vrajaukaso yata samiyu parirambhanabihi Gopyam cha sa sneham apujayam muda. And then Dhari akshatabhir yuyuju sa asisaha. What does that mean? Yeah. Here is saying all the residents of Vrindavan were overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and they came forward and greeted Sri Krishna according to their individual relationship with him, some embracing him, some bowing down to him, and cowherd women presented water mixed with yogurt and unbroken barley corns as a token of honor, and they showered auspicious benedictions upon him. And I think after this, the cowherd boys, they were very proud. Hey, after all, who is Krishna? He's our Krishna. He's our gang member. Yeah. यशोदा रोहिणी नंदो रामश्च बलिनान् वरः कृष्णम् आलिङ्ग्यं युजुर् आशीष स्नेहकार कातरः. So then they came, Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, Nanda Maharaj, Balaram, and greatest of the strong, all embraced Krishna. Overwhelmed with affection, they offered him their blessings. And in heaven, O King, all the demigods, including Siddhas, Sadhyas, Gandharvas, Chanaras, sang the praise of Lord Krishna and showered down flowers in great satisfaction. And then, um, uh, dear Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Dear Parishit Maharaj, the demigods in heaven resoundedly played their conch shell and kettle drums, and best of Gandharvas led by Tumbura began to sing. Hmm. Surrounded by his loving cowherd boys, and Lord Balaram Krishna then went off to the place where he had been tending his cows. The cowherd girls returned to their homes singing joyfully in the purport, yeah. And about the lifting of Govardhan Hill and other glorious deeds performed by Lord Krishna, who had so deeply touched their hearts. In the purport, This is the concluding verse. Before returning to their homes, the gopis shared intimate association with their lover Sri Krishna by exchanging secret glances. Ordinarily, they could not publicly talk about Krishna, huh? Since they were chaste young girls in a religious village. But now they took advantage of his wonderful exhibition by the Lord and freely sang of his beautiful qualities. It is natural that a young man wants to do something wonderful in the presence of a beautiful young girl. The gopis were the most beautiful and pure hearted young girls, and Sri Krishna performed the most wonderful activities in their presence. Thus, he entered deep within their tender hearts and enlivening their eternal devotion to him. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. We could actually go further, but yeah, if we have an opportunity, I was actually thinking to make this very brief and actually go into the prayers of Indra, so that to understand the greatness of Lord. But if we get an extra opportunity, we can do that. Thank you everyone for joining. Are there any things you would like to share, add, comment, questions? Hare Krishna. Okay, if no questions, yeah, thanks for joining. Have a nice Sunday, and yeah, let's take the valuable gist of this wonderful pastime and understand our own pride is our own enemy, and how can we curb this is by taking shelter of the Lord. When we are in association of Lord, we always feel that, oh Lord, you are the one who is great, you are the one who is a protector, and always we take shelter. And then this one, what is that verse number, Ratikeli Mataji? Verse number 13, right? 10, 24, 13 uh, is the verse which we can by heart. Every day we can pray in the morning and be blessed. Yes. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री गिरिराज की जय. श्री श्री गोवर्धन गिरिवार्यधारी जी की जय. गिरिधारी जी की जय. राधा दामोदर जी की जय. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
No.
हरे कृष्ण. हरे कृष्ण.